Everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of How to Roll Dice for Tabletop Tuesday. I'm Josh.
I'm Brian.
And today we're going to be delving into the official launch of the INFERNALS CID. We've got our lovely printouts here with all of the details.
There's so much in here.
Yeah, this is actually the second time we're trying to record this video because we weren't paying attention to our timer.
No.
And we were just like completely going through every single model, and by the time we thought to look at the clock, we had been going for 28 minutes and we weren't even halfway through the Infernals. We were basically doing exactly what they did with
after we told you to go check out their Privateer Press's video if you really wanted a desktop.
We're going to try this again. This time, if you want full details, first off, sign up for the CID. Everybody should sign up for the CID.
It's free.
It's free. You can play test. You can get a look at the rules early. You can keep track of changes as they occur.
You can help out Privateer Press with figuring out whether or not rules need to stay or go.
Be part of the community. It's community. So we are going. It's community. It's what is it? Community involved development.
Community.
It's community. Rainbow. So moving through these very quickly. Not too many notes.
We have three masters and three masters only, which is the one thing I like about it is the fact that it's just here's three, go.
Right, and they each have very specific functions.
Yep.
So you've got Agathon. He is your spell slinger. He's an Essence 9. Great spells. Very powerful.
High essence, low soul taking.
Right. High essence, low soul gain capability.
Yeah, and a bunch of spells.
Omidamos is their melee beat stick caster or master. He is basically compared directly to the Butcher.
Yes.
So he's going to go in, he's got two giant chain weapons, he's just going to smash your face apart.
He has the lowest essence, but he has the highest ability to take souls.
He's an Essence 6, but he's very capable of obtaining additional essence through soul collection.
He's wants to get in and beat your face.
Yep. And then you've got Zadaroth, the Weaver of Shadows, also the Master of Rice.
Yes.
And that is going to be your most balanced master. And also they mentioned that at least in the fluff, the most powerful of the masters.
Yes, and she's the only one with an actual ranged weapon, like a gun. She has a gun.
Yes, she
does.
Gets
her souls.
Very cool looking models. Again, you can check them out. We'll have the pictures here so you can take a quick look at them.
On to the next page.
On to the next page. So we've got the Infernal Horrors, starting with the Heavy Horrors, though the lightest of the Heavy Horrors, the Soul Stalker. This is basically a giant worm type dealie. Looks like a flying millipede with face tentacles. And his main job is to be there, suck your soul out, and sling it back to his master so that your master can use it to convert into essence and keep the game going.
Yep.
Very soft, very squishy, defense 13, armor 15, not a lot of hitboxes.
And they've already said that all the horrors are going to be soft and squishy because they have to balance it out of getting them for free when you get to just summon them whenever you want.
Right, so the fact that this is an Essence 4 horror means that you can yank it onto the field for a cost of 4. Under Agathon, who's an Essence 9, that's not even half of your Essence.
And Oz has already said, don't right off the bat start complaining the fact that they're a little squishy. You're getting them for free.
Right.
Play test
the main thing they want to hear out of the CID is like mechanics combinations and things that they haven't come across yet. They don't want to hear, oh, this guy should have more armor, his defense is too low. That's not how Infernals
They know,
work.
they balanced it out.
So shut your mouths. Next up is the Tormentor, who is the first of the actual heavies.
Yes.
Defense 11, armor 18. Still not many hitboxes, looking like mid to low 20s.
But better armor. Now you're getting
better armor. So he's a little more defensive. He's got two giant clampy crab claws.
Crab claws.
He's going to snap you with.
Yeah.
That's his main spiel. His sort of, what do you call them, twins? They're going to come in the kit together. Yeah. It's going to be his kit horror. Is the Desolator. Still has giant crabby claws, but also has creepy pincer arms that come off his back.
Cool looking models.
Very cool looking models. Very otherworldly, alien looking models.
No eyes.
Same defense armor line. Yep. So they have no eyes.
But they don't have
they're not eyeless sight. All their eyes are on the Shrieker, which we'll get to. So he's got his pincy crabby claws as well, but those crabby claws are also now vomiting giant mouths of dark poisonous bile.
And we believe it was, you said it was spray 8?
Yeah, spray 8, POW 10 with Withering Death, so if you get hit by them, you suffer -2 armor until the end of the turn, unless you have immunity corrosion because they are corrosive type and magic type.
Right.
Pretty much all the weapons in Infernals, whether it's a horror, a solo, or a unit,
have some type of magic ability.
Are magic weapons or have some type of a effect. So moving on from the Tormentor Desolator combo, we've got the actual Lightjacks, the Lamenter. This is basically a dragon-looking wormling with just two giant scything claws.
Little scything claws.
It's got a little butt spike too. Not a weapon. I wish it was.
It'd be great if it had knockdown.
Yeah. Could you guys like add in that weapon and just make it really weak, like PNS 8, but it has. What's the one where when you're knocked down you do additional damage, like Thrash or?
Probably Thrash.
Some of the pirates have it.
Yeah.
There's a rule that you take additional damage if you're knocked down or additional die of damage.
To balance it out, it has to be 0.5 for range.
Yeah, 0.5 range, absolutely. He has to be on top of you, just jabbing you with his butt spike. So that's the Lamenter.
Off to the Shrieker.
Off to the Shrieker. The Shrieker is going to be your ranged light.
All the eyes.
All the eyes that are missing from all the other horrors are on the Shrieker. He's got like 25 eyes.
Yeah.
So good for him. He can see everything, apparently. Though he does have eyeless sight, so... What? But that's fun. He has Gunfighter, and he's got a range 10, POW 13 Boosh with Admonisher.
I want to see this model painted all with milk eyes.
Oh yeah, milky blind eyes.
Milky blind eyes.
I wonder, that would be cool because I bet Jordan could do a video on how to create that effect.
Yes.
Like using almost opaque washes over the eye to make it cloudy.
There you go, Jordan.
How to paint cataracts.
How to paint cataracts for Jordan.
Moving on, we've got the one lesser horror, which is the Forebodor. This is basically a giant flying squid.
Yep.
Not quite giant though, it is on a small base. And the whole point of this thing is to cost 1 essence so you can summon it right into play, and it is a channeler, so you can bounce your spells through it.
Yeah.
So if you've got Agathon or if you've got any of your masters and you need the ability to launch your spells a little further, all you have to do is plan 1 turn ahead. This thing comes into play with its 1 focus, even though it's, sorry, not focus, essence, even though it only has a max of 1 essence, but you summon it into play, it moves forward into the position where you need it to be. End of that turn, it's going to spend that 1 essence to tide. But then it's still there on your next turn, so you can bounce your spells.
Unless you summon it through the gate, in which case it's already up ahead.
That's true, and
so
we'll get to that
after.
So moving on to units.
Yes,
we've got the Cultist Band.
The Cultist Band,
which they told us was going to be one of your most vital units, but also one of your squishiest. It's defense 12, armor 12, just as promised. It does, however, have Dark Cult, which as long as it's formationed, it gets Mark Soul.
Yes.
Which we already explained how Mark Soul works. You pull a model off the field, and your master's essence goes to full. So it's got Dark Cult, which gives it Mark Soul in formation. It's got Gang, so they get a little additional assistance.
My favorite,
in combat.
It has Shanghai.
It has Shanghai, so they can go ahead and rebuild their ranks as they're taking people out. And then it's got the 2 probably most important magical actions that any unit or solo in this have, which is Rituals of Shadow and Touch of Darkness. So Ritual of Shadow is a range 3 target-friendly horror, gains an essence. So that's going to stop you from going all out and then flipping at the end of your
especially when you want to keep it on the field.
Right, it's going to give you that what you need to keep your tithing paid. And then it's also got a base-to-base D3 heal. I'm not sure exactly what this does and doesn't apply to because it's target-friendly living soulless model. So it has to be soulless. I think almost everything is. It has to be living, which technically horrors don't say they're undead. They're soulless. So I think it's mainly here so that they can heal horrors. So they can give horrors essence and they can heal horrors.
Which is why they're going to be the most important thing to keep on the field.
Exactly. But again, defense 12, armor 12. 1 point apiece, obviously, and it is a standard size unit. So.
Right.
Moving on, we've got the Griever Swarm. Grievers are going to be your main flyer unit. They have a range 10 POW 12 shooty gun that has crit fire. It's also a magical weapon. Like I said, almost everything here is magical weapon. You can almost just assume that. They have eyeless sight, they have flight, they have gunfighter, and they are soulless. They can make combined ranged attacks as well.
Which would be nice.
They're kind of, they almost look like floating eyeballs. They look like they should be floating eyeballs, but they're not. They're just kind of like little squiddy bobs.
Moving on to pretty much everybody's favorite unit, the Howlers.
Yes, people were very excited when they saw this. This is your melee heavy infantry. They are covered in what looks like chitin. They have 1 giant spike arm, and then their other arm is like a Hellboy fist.
Yeah.
So very, very cool looking.
Berserker, Bloodthirst, Vengeance.
Yep.
These guys are definitely,
tough.
You want to keep these guys ahead of your cultists.
Yep.
And just keep cracking them away.
8 wounds apiece, defense 12, armor 17, grievous wounds on their weapons. So very solid.
Really cool models. I'm looking forward to seeing what they look like when they're fully done and painted.
Yeah.
All right. So on to the solos. There are so many damn solos.
There's a lot of solos, and we were a little confused at first because we thought that there were going to be more infernal-looking solos. Like when you see the masters and you see the horrors, you go, okay, those are clearly otherworldly void creatures.
Right.
When you see the solos, they all just look like corrupted humans, which is fine because they're beautiful concepts. Like the art for these looks great, and I'm sure the models are going to be amazing. But they're all human-looking. So I was just expecting more infernals. Like when you see some of the units, they're very infernal-looking. But then when you switch over to solos, it's like all human. So
which is kind of a cool balance.
It is, and I get that the whole point is that they're corrupted humans, but I mean, it would have been. We'll see more. I'm sure there'll be more.
Yeah,
coming out. Anyways, moving on. So you've got, and if we mess up any of these names, some of these names are tricky, but we'll do our best. Yeah. So Lord Roger de Veros, he is their Warcaster attachment. Their master attachment.
Yeah.
So he has Harmonious Exaltation, he has Spell Slave, he also has Marked Soul. A lot of the solos have Marked Soul.
One thing that everybody's forgetting is he has a sweet, sweet beard.
He does, yes. He's a lot of the almost all of the male concept art is bearded.
Very Rasputin.
Maybe that's an infernal thing?
Like Rasputin.
Like Rasputin, yeah. In fact, the very next solo, Lord Adept Quintus Faustus, Faust, right there in the name.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't know what that is, get cultured. So Adeptus Quintus Faustus, he is one of the command attachments for the the cultist band. So he links in with them. He's a spell slinger. He's got battle wizard. He's got obviously officer for the unit. He has annihilation as a spell. He has marked soul as well, so you can pluck him for essence. He has soul taker shepherd, so he can do a lot more with the souls than just help collect them. And then he actually has Strength of Death, so he can spend those soul tokens to boost attack and damage rolls. So he himself is much beefier and more capable than the regular cultists.
You definitely want to bring him.
Yeah,
100%.
He is a character.
If you don't bring him,
so you can only bring the one.
Yeah.
You're probably going to have multiple cultist units, but you're going to have him somewhere in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got Master Theurgist Gideon Asher. He is another, I want to say, just spell slinger. It seems like a lot of the solos here have spell capabilities. He's got Hex Blast, he's got Puppet Master, so he can take control of models. He's also a marked soul. An important note is that no Infernal Master can be taken control of at any point. That's just a passive rule of the faction. I think they had a name for it. I don't remember what it was though.
Can't remember offhand.
It's somewhere.
I'm pretty sure you guys will let us know.
Exactly. Moving on from him, we've got one of the coolest looking concept arts and hopefully models when it comes out is Great Princess Regna Gravnoy.
Yeah.
She's definitely some kind of a Kadoran high princess.
Oh yeah.
Who has secretly been working for the Infernals the entire time.
Yeah.
She's a lesser master, basically.
She's probably one of my favorite.
Her rule is Master Infernalist.
Yeah, she's probably one of my favorite models of Dave.
Very cool. She looks identical to the Evil Queen from Snow White.
Yes.
So, I mean, really close, to the point where people were immediately recommending that her weapon should be Poison Apple.
So what
there's still time. Privateer Press, you can add it.
So what it should be is the apple should be a ranged weapon. She throws it on you. The apple immediately opens up into a squid that takes you over for one turn. And then dies out.
Either that, or I think it's Veil 1 has her Oculus. It's basically a weapon that does no damage, but if she hits you with it, spells automatically hit you.
Yeah.
So just give her a poison apple that works like the Oculus. That would be great. Or just call it the Oculus and make it look like an apple on the model. Either way. We don't care. Give her an apple. So she is a Master Infernalist. She can control lesser and light horrors. Oh, look. Just notice this. They call them war beasts here. Light and lesser war beasts. That could just be a copy-paste.
Yeah, probably.
We don't know. We still have to assume that they're going to be their own thing called horrors.
She does have Succor, which
She does have Succor, so she can keep herself on the field longer. She has marked soul. She has a small spell list, Dark Seduction, Hellfire, Wind Wall. So basically, just for Wind Wall alone, that defensive capability, having her on the field, absolutely worth it. She's got 5 hitboxes, Defense 14, Armor 14, Essence 4. So I think she's going to be a pretty heavy. She's going to lean pretty heavily towards auto include.
I mean, even if I don't buy the damn the army, she's getting bought.
She's a great looking model. Yeah. So moving on to
more solos.
So we got Valen Hoke, the Fallen Knight. This is their cab solo. He's not a dragoon.
Yes.
He doesn't dismount and become a small base model when he's destroyed. He's just mounted on a horse. He has a couple very useful effects. So he's got tough, obviously cavalry. He's got Brother's Keeper, which I believe he's borrowed from Grievous in Protectorate.
It's got Mark Soul, it's got Reposition
Mark Soul, so you don't want to yank your cab solo off the field, but if you need to,
hit the fan,
he's there.
You might as well.
Yep, Reposition 3 so he can hop around, pretty standard for cav.
They knew what they signed up for when they got that power.
Oh, absolutely. When he was given his magical horse, and it's not just a regular horse, it's definitely an infernal horse of some type. But yeah, he's your pretty standard solo cav.
Yes.
You've got the Wretch, which is very creepy looking and has one of the creepier abilities. So it's got a magic ability called Fly's Kiss. It's an attack, range 8, POW 12, and when you're destroyed with it, you basically blow up into an AoE of flies that damages and corrodes everything around you.
It's horrifying.
So yeah, that's pretty damn creepy. It's got Stealth, it's got Mark Soul as well, so if you want to pluck it off for that, you can. It's got Mortal Fear, so models in its command range suffer -2 to its damage rolls. Yeah. So it's going to weaken things around it. And then Cursed Touch, its melee weapon is, corrosive, because why not?
Next you got the Dark Sentinel.
Dark Sentinel, going to be another auto-include with Cultist bands because it's a weapon attachment for them. You've seen the picture for it. I mean, we're going to have it here, but they posted it earlier. He's got that weird broad helmet and a big sword. He almost looks like a Guardian from Scorn. And so he's got the same stuff that the cult does. He's got Dark Cult, so when he's in formation, he has Marked Soul. He's got Gang, he's got Shanghai, he's got Ritual of Shadows and Touch of Darkness. And he's just swinging a much better weapon. So he's there to help smash stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely something you need to bring. If you're going to be, you need to be loading up the field with cultists, and you need to be bringing stuff that's going to either help the cultists or defend the cultists.
Yeah. Umbral Guardian. This is a pretty unique model.
The Umbrella Guardian.
The Umbrella Guardian. So this is Defense 13, Armor 16 with Defensive Strike, Ghostly, Shadow Guardian, and Shield Guard. So Shadow Guardian is basically, you can choose to have this model start off field, not in play. It's got 8 hitboxes. And Shadow Guardian is, I'm going to try to get this right. If a model is damaged, if a model is hit by an enemy ranged attack, directly hit,
you're going to immediately bring her.
You immediately place this model on the field, and it takes the shot instead.
Yes.
That is not, however, its Shield Guard. That is its Shadow Guard. So
right.
It can still make a Shield Guard that round. So it can actually make essentially 2 Shield Guards that round.
And they're FA3.
They're FA3. Now, the downside to these, interestingly enough, and I think Hungerford brought this up, is that you can't bring it onto the field if you choose to start it off the field, unless a model is directly hit by a ranged attack. So if I see that you have 3 Umbral Guardians sitting off the side of the field, I can just choose to never shoot you, and you just can't enter the field. So that
is a good way of shutting it down.
So they're 6 points apiece, so that's 18 points sitting off the side of the table that you can't bring in.
Right.
So I doubt it would be that easy to just go, well, I'm not going to shoot you, but if you can do it, then...
If you can pull it off, I mean, Butcher doesn't do anything shooting. Yeah,
true. So next we have the Infernal Gate. This is their structure. So obviously factions getting structures now. The Infernal Gate, pretty straightforward, but very powerful. It has the ability to collect souls. It has the ability to produce souls if it doesn't have any souls on it.
Right.
It has the ability to distribute those souls. And then it also has a pretty awesome ranged attack. Range 12, POW 14, 4-inch AoE with Ghost Shot. So it's pretty much teleporting to you, ignoring line of sight, cover, concealment. It can be a rear attack because it can teleport behind you, flick you in the back of the head. And it has reload 1, so it can spend one of the souls that it has on it to shoot the weapon a second time. Pretty powerful.
Yeah, the one thing I like about this model, when you can summon a creature right from it, you summon...
When a master summons a horror, it can summon it to themselves
or the gate.
Yeah.
In which case, then the horror turn activates.
And you're further, or you're in a different location than you would
Or
have
you set up and you bring in that the channeler.
Yep.
And then you just immediately can start channeling
from
right
there.
through.
Yeah, so you can, the lesser jack that is essentially there just to be a channeler, you can summon it to the gate, and then it might already be up the field or in a different position than your master is. Couple more left here. We've got Mordecai, Master at Arms. He didn't have any art, I believe, but he's just another
Infernalist.
It says Infernal Solo, but human looking, so I assume he's going to look like a human. He's got your standard hand cannon, and he's got an Infernal Blade that also has Grievous Wounds. So
unless he actually is an Infernal and his hand is a cannon.
Sure, that's another thing we should make
like to see.
And then Kezia Brand, the Screaming Knight. I just love that her ranged weapon is a song. It says Death Song. Range 12, POW 13, Devour Soul, Luck, and Shadowfire. So, and she's going to be your more dancey defensive solo. She's defense 16, armor 12. She's got stealth. She's got acrobatics.
She's your annoying solo that now
she's
you
a
have to deal
nuisance
with.
solo that's going to get in there and really make you have to deal with her in the most frustrating of ways.
Yeah.
So that's Infernals.
Yeah. We bum rushed through these, so we apologize, but there is really, you don't want to sit through us talking about it when you can go hear Hungerford talk about it.
Yeah, we'll link their CID video below. It's not like you guys don't know how to find it. But
and again, go onto the CID, print all these out, play it, get back to Oz, Hungerford, get it back to all the guys over there, and let them know what you like, what you don't like, help them out, make it better.
Yep. A couple quick notes before we wrap things up. We actually got in a couple of games this week, so we wanted to give you guys a quick, brief battle report. Our game didn't go full length, though. We're trying to get into Steamroller because we were just trying to get back into the game in general, and now we're trying to get back into the game at more of a tournament level. So we're playing 75 points in Steamroller, still getting used to the Steamroller scenarios. And we were playing Ursk 2.
Ursk 2 with the Armor Core.
Yep. Versus a very strange list that I slapped together, which was Gorton in Hammer Strike, because I'm only playing Hammer Strike. And we were playing, I forget the name of the scenario, but it was the one where it's the 2 circles on the side, the rectangle in the middle with an objective on either end of the rectangle.
And you get to choose what bonus
you choose what you want for the objective,
I mean, unfortunately, it was like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, we started around 8:30, 9 o'clock.
We both have worked all day. We both started rolling horribly shitty rolls.
Yep.
And maybe like almost an hour into it, we both were like, you know what? It is way too late to deal with this bad roll.
It was bottom of round, or it was top of round 3.
Top of round 3,
and it was basically all of round 2, because obviously round 1 was just positioning and whatnot. All of round 2, it was I failed a bunch of rolls, like rolling.
You missed 6 rolls.
Yeah, it was like
with
5
your
or
velocity.
I was rolling 5 or less on 3 dice repeatedly, over and over.
I like to state again. You missed 6 rolls shooting my Victor, which is defense 7.
Yeah.
The fact that you missed all 6 of those, that started the night till we figured out we were probably just going to go home.
Things went really sideways really fast. And then your round 2 turn was basically the exact same thing.
It was just
making a handful of boosted rolls and doing either no damage or a point of
one
damage, rolling well under average.
Yeah.
And then we were like, okay, let's just see if maybe that's done. And so we went into round 3, and I got about 2/3 of the way through my turn and was getting all the same kind of rolls. And it was just like, okay, we're not meant to finish this game.
No,
I'm going to call this here. We shook hands and said, bad game.
Yep.
And we just packed up our stuff and went home for the night. So
yeah, I definitely enjoy the way Earth 2 played. Lately,
that was your first time with Earth?
That was my first 2, yeah. I've been running Sorcerer 3 for a while now. And
because she's kind of the armored core fluff cast.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out, I'm like, am I running Sorcerer 3 because I like Sorcerer 3? Or am I running Sorcerer 3 because I really think she's what's best for the list? And I think if that's actually taking a step back, I think it's just because I like Sorcerer.
Thematically, she fits perfect. I mean, she's in the Man of War armor. It's just she doesn't
do as
for your
much.
Playstyle. Yeah, she's very defensive feat, and I feel like you utilized her spells a lot less when you switched over to Earth 2. All of a sudden, you were casting 2 or 3 spells, upkeeping things.
Yeah,
He had a bigger hand in what was going on in the game.
I definitely think I'm going to be running Earth 2 from now on with that, and then slowly but surely, maybe today we'll start doing some testing for Grimkin.
Yeah. And my Gorton list was very bizarre. I basically just tried to. I don't quite know what to do with Gorton other than landslide things into what's going to kill them. So I thought it would be funny to keep Strength of Granite on an Earthbreaker so that it has 2 PNS 25 claws.
Right.
Bring Thor so that I can tune up to help the Earthbreaker a little bit more, and then try to just landslide something into the Earthbreaker and let it get eaten.
And nothing just worked out for us.
I just played Gorton too far back. That was my main issue. He needs to be way more forward, otherwise you can't grab stuff with landslide, which I know, but I somehow forgot. So we might try a similar game again. I might try the same list. I'm sure you might tweak yours a little bit or switch over to Grimkin for a game.
I don't know. I mean, I really want to try and work on the armor core just to flush that out, since I have so many of the models all ready to go. We're actually going to be going to a sale today, which we're going to talk more about on Themis Thursday.
Yeah, quick drop though, not that you guys are going to see this in time, but a few days ago, by the time you guys are watching this video, the Armory had a great sale. It's like something like 70% off.
They listed it 70% off of War Machine.
Yeah, it's a flea market sale. So they're trying to get rid of a bunch of old stock.
Yeah, it's going to that time of year.
Yeah, and we've actually had a few different discussions with different shop owners, and what it seems to be is that Privateer Press has made a bit of a shift in how they allow inventory stocking for third-party retailers, local game stores, what have you. And they're changing. I don't know if it's how difficult it is to get a vendor license or you just need to re-request one, but a lot of stores now are having trouble maintaining inventory. Like the War Store, which usually had a massive inventory, big online store, Discount Games Inc., Miniature Market. You'll notice they've all been having sales recently, and they're all having trouble re-upping their out-of-stock inventory.
Yeah.
And it's because Privateer Press is in the process of making this change where they want you to purchase models either directly from them or they want their vendors to re-up their vendor contract in some way.
I mean, I can completely understand where they're coming from. They want to have the returning customer coming to them.
Yeah.
They also talked about it too, about, it is hard when a store can't get a model. You're immediately blaming the store as opposed to blaming the company.
Right.
Because
it might be a shipping issue. It might be out of stock at the warehouse.
And they wanted to take a lot of the heat off of the local stores. Mm-hmm. It just kind of sucks when you want to go to your local store, pick up a new model or whatever. Or it's harder for the local store.
And you have to assume right off the bat the shelves are going to be slightly less full than they used to be.
Yeah.
There aren't going to be any, oh, come on down this Saturday. We're having a sale. There's not going to be anything to put on sale. Privateer Press doesn't often do sales. I mean, every now and then they do. Obviously, they had those awesome bundles around Christmas this past year. But
I mean, you got to wait like till Christmas time.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, that's our show.
This week we didn't really get a chance to take in the showdown, the employee showdown at Privateer Press because we were dealing with some personal issues and house flooding, and we didn't get to take in the painting session either with Jordan.
No.
I'm sure it was spectacular. We'll catch up on those. But yeah, so coming forward, we've got some more battle reports.
Yeah.
We've got hopefully more CID updates. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
So again, this has been How to Roll Dice for Tabletop Tuesday. I'm Josh.
Bryant.
And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys for Themeless Thursday.
See you.